Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something clicked.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
And it feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart.
Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me.
She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
In order to be allowed to train them, they have now a mandatory course, 5-day course that you have to take. It's very realistic. It's anything bad that could ever happen to you.
Ooh.
That usually doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's kidnappings, anything,
Yeah.
So I went there last year, and when I didn't have this mandate, and you're very restricted where you can go. You're inside these compounds where there's barbed wire and sandbags and, men with machine guns all over the place. So you're pretty safe there. Last year when I went, it was the first time I felt totally safe. I was kind of very ignorant. This even the barbed wire is romantic. This is so interesting,
Yeah.
Because to me it was where am I landing? Planet, whatever. And when I came there this year, I had this course. It made me so scared. But anyway, so now I'm in, and I'm supposed to go back there. If they're thinking about, it's all very disorganized, but I didn't get the training done because the people who were going to train were too busy. So they're planning to send me back there in early October.
Mm-hmm.
So in the meantime, I'm in partly on my own dime because but I don't want to go back to the US and then fly back again because it took me a week to get over that jet lag. Because I had to start out immediately. I mean, if you go on vacation and you can sleep and walk around and being a zombie, but I couldn't because first day I was able to right into that 8-hour training or 9-hour training. So I was so it was so hard, and I don't want to go through that again. And not in a short time frame.
If you were kidnapped, you'd probably also be sleep deprived. So maybe it was good.
I know.
It was accurate simulation there.
Oh yeah, exactly. Although, no. So seriously, so we had a test at the end. Then I wasn't scared at all. It was a real test. I blindfolded, and we were rolling in the mud.
Wow.
Blindfolded. Yeah, you should have seen us afterwards. And it also rained. So it was all swimming in mud, and they were kind of handcuffing us, and they were doing all kinds of stuff. Then I wasn't scared at all. But the day before, we were just sitting in a classroom, and I think we were learning something they were teaching us about, how to stop bleedings and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all sitting there, and I was thinking, oh gosh, I'm tired. And suddenly the door, boom, in come some people with machine guns. And
Really?
we're all down on the floor. We didn't have machine guns, but this is a test.
A pop quiz.
And I flipped, not like outwardly, but inwardly. So afterward, I was just crying and crying.
Yeah.
And I think it was my something with early childhood trauma of being overcome with unpredictability.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
scary unpredictability.
Yeah.
I think that it triggered something there, and I realized it. So I didn't fall apart like a washcloth, but it really triggered something, and I just let myself cry and feel it. And then,
How long did that go on before it was revealed that was a test?
Well, we realized it pretty soon because nobody kind of fired a shot, right?
You mean like your instructors had guns and they?
No, that's it's people that came in the door. They didn't fire anything. So we realized it. I think we realized it pretty soon. But for me, it was just the suddenness of this kind of. I'm not used to guns.
That sounds really horrifying. That sounds really awful. It was horrifying.
It was awful.
I mean, I get that they have their reasons for doing it, but that seems like the kind of thing. I mean, that's traumatic.
It's traumatic.
Do you need to traumatize someone in order to teach them how to not be traumatized or how to respond?
I know. It's you're right. Well, why did I do it? And I wasn't the only one crying. I was another person who also was crying. So we had at least two that are triggered.
I'm sorry. That just sounds awful.
It was kind of awful. But there's nothing good about it. But the good thing about it was that I didn't run away from I realized I'm scared now. Even if this wasn't real, this really triggered something scary in me. I didn't just see, well, it's over. I just let myself be there for a little while and kind of say, okay, that's how I feel. So
yeah. How many minutes do you think went by before you were 100% sure it was a test?
Well, so we all went on the floor, and the only space for me on the floor would be under the table, and I think it was maybe 3 minutes or 4 minutes. I mean, time is so weird when it's these situations. Yeah. But, it was when they started kind of walking around and really didn't do anything. Well, they took a couple of people out and blindfolded them.
How long was it until they told you it was a test? Or until you were 100% certain? Jeez.
Minutes about, because I think the rule is that if something like this happens, you're going to stay on the floor for 10 minutes. It's the rule. Stay down for 10 minutes. So that, it's after people leave, you're supposed to stay down for 10 minutes. Just to make sure that everything is relatively safe. But the reason I don't want this on tape, well, there are many reasons why I don't want this on tape, but on broadcasting is I'm not telling anybody I know about it at home. They would freak out,
I'm kind of freaking out. I would be so furious if I was a student in that classroom. I would be furious for a week, I feel like, and I would raise hell probably would be my response in anger about that. That just sounds, it's like I don't watch scary movies.
I don't either. I don't either. I can't watch scary movies
because I like to sleep at night. And there's just, and I worked in an emergency room in a hospital. Like I work in hospice. I've seen a lot of shit, but but that's not part of my training. Is manufacturing, again, that kind of traumatic experience.
Yeah. I mean, where they are coming from is that you should be prepared. You should know what to do. So I think for them, it was like when these people I burst through the door, we all kind of quote passed the test because we kind of were right onto the floor with our hands on our heads to cover our heads, right? So we did the right thing. Okay, we passed the test.
Yeah. So 10 seconds later, they could have said, "Okay, you passed."
Yeah.
We're sorry. We just needed to do that.
10 minutes.
We're so sorry. Here's some ice cream and some cartoons because you have the rest of the day off.
Yeah. No, I and I went to the leader and said, I went to him and said I was really triggered because, I said, probably because of childhood
You should be.
trauma.
Someone's threatening your life. I mean, you're talking about childhood trauma. Like, who wouldn't be terrified in that situation? That's just awful.
Yeah. Well, that was, and I won't tell you anything more. But it's it told us anything that could happen and had happened, even if it doesn't happen often. And it made me, when I was there for a week. I was inside a tiny compound that had 2 buildings and there was nowhere to go. And I mean, the food was good. You lived in, there's a bunker there that you're supposed to go in if something happens. And our rooms, none of the rooms had windows. And, it was a little room. It was clean, but it had no windows. So it had super good air conditioning because there was no air coming in from outside. I felt like I was in a submarine.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's
How did you relax? Did you have a good book? Do you have your favorite podcast, Live IFS?
So the reason, so I realized, and this
catching up on your Live IFS backlog.
I wasn't able to relax. I didn't sleep. I slept a little, but my sleep was very interrupted. I was very vigilant. And I think one of the reasons, this is maybe something we can work on. And what I'm going to say now, because I realized when I was there, and of course I realized it before that, let's put it this way. I am in general a very high-stressed, anxious person. And what keeps me relatively sane and relatively stable is that I, at least either once a day or one every second day, get a physical outlet, Like I get to run. I move my body.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like, and this was what I was thinking about there, the realization I came to is like my body is my anchor. And if I don't get that outlet, something in me gets really scared that my body is going to let me down. My body's not going to be fit anymore. And I know that that won't happen in a day or 2 days or a week, right? My body won't deteriorate, right? I know that. But when I was under such high stress as I was there, and there were really nowhere to go to get that physical outlet, that this came up really strong and made me, I think it made me even more, it made me even tenser. If I had if this had been a bigger place, if there had been a running track there or a pool or something, right? Whatever there had been.
Yeah.
And I could have gotten that outlet and gotten to feel, my body is my anchor. I have my anchor. Because I kind of lost my anchor.
Yeah.
And that, and that made me, so, of course, it made me hard for me to just sit down and read a book or watch YouTube.
Get good sleep,
anything, because I had kind of lost my anchor. And since I had lost my anchor, I had to be even more vigilant.
Yeah.
And so I started kind of going back So I realized it's very important for me. I mean, it's important for me in general to feel that my body is fit. I mean, I'm not an Olympic whatever. I don't care about it. But that's very important to me, to feel that my body is fit. That kind of makes me feel safer.
Yeah.
That it creates safety in me. It's because most of the time, the world around me, there is a lot of unsafety. I'm not saying it's totally unsafe, but I
don't think you need to explain. I mean, a staircase is unsafe if you're unfit.
Yeah.
Right. Getting in and out of a car is unsafe.
And so I started thinking a lot about this so I started going back. When did my body become my anchor? And then I contrasted it when I was like before I left. When I met this guy that I went to visit, who actually talk to almost every day now. When I visited him, how I kind of trusted him. And, when I was with him like 4 days, I think maybe I went out for a little run one time, because I really didn't need it that much, because I felt safe. I didn't need my anchor that much. I mean.
Okay. So you ran one day out of 4 instead of 2.
Yeah, or 2 or 3, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a short run because I ran pretty far when I run. Well, not marathons, but it's more than a mile and 2 when I usually run. So I started. So there is something deep there with me and safety. When I kind of can relax, when I trust, I feel safe and can relax. My body can relax. I don't need to kind of grip onto this anchor. I'm not that concerned about. I mean, it's like I trust it will be there. I trust that too. But when I'm unsafe, it becomes really, really important. And then when I was really, really important, and I couldn't get the outlet.
Right. Okay.
So, of course, there are parts inside my body that is, making this important to me.
All of your parts are in your body. And when you were saying, when did my body become my anchor? I was thinking, when did your body stop becoming your anchor would be a more, or at least would be an equally important question, I think, to ask.
Yeah.
Everything you're describing to me, it's hard. Maybe it's parts of me that are finding it hard to see anything in what you're saying. I mean, I understand if it feels like it's kind of extreme, where it's like, I have to work out because I missed 2 days. Of course, there could be parts that are driving that. But the idea that my body's my anchor, fitness is part of safety. And if I'm not feeling fit, then I'm not feeling particularly safe. I don't know. That's hard
or
for me.
Or the other way around. If I'm not feeling safe and I don't have the outlet, well, yeah.
Yeah, that all. I don't know. Maybe my parts are just in agreement with your parts, but it all adds up to me. But yeah, we can get to know any of it that is parts related, any of it that feels extreme, or any of it that you'd like to change your relationship with, which is usually how I start. Is any of that something you want to change your relationship with?
I do. And can I just give you a very, very quick timeline, and then we can go into it? Because I think there is something where we can hold grit onto there. So the timeline I want to give you is when I was 5, I liked to tie my belt so tight I could barely breathe, for stopping myself from feeling fear or anxiety or whatever. Then what we have worked on, the guilty one and the shame one, she was a zombie. She didn't have her body as an anchor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was totally extreme.
Right.
And then, of course, I became anorexic. And first my body was super thin. And I was holding on to that thinness as an anchor. Then, because when I also became fit around 20 or so, when I started running, then I was both thin and fit. Then I could finally let go of the thinness. I didn't need that so much anymore because the fitness became my anchor.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say. Not that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So where do we go with all of that?
Are there parts that are in you that are coming up and they feel like parts that you'd like to change your relationship with or get to know better? And if you don't have an answer, that's okay. We can find other ways.
It's okay. So what? There is something with that, but I don't know if that's a part or it's just a reaction, but it's that knee-jerk need, hold on to something if I feel unsafe. I need to have something to hold on to.
And what you're holding on to is usually the physical.
Yeah, it's that kind of. Then I know So if I can feel, if I can feel that my body is strong, that gives me kind of. Then I can kind of relax a bit. And then it's also easier everything is easier if I can feel that my body is strong. It's easier to feel vulnerable, to be open, to be generous, to take things as they are, to be flexible.
Right.
If I lose that anchor, that feeling of having it, because, it's a sense. And I never lose it. I mean, my body is always with me as long as I live. But when I feel like I lose that, then I become impatient and I can flip out and I start catastrophizing and go into black and white thinking and I withdraw from people and I think everybody's judging me.
Okay. I may I reflect back what I'm hearing and where I'm thinking we could go, or what sounds like parts to me. So having the fitness makes you more flexible, present, confident. And that's the part that I'm having trouble seeing as anything but just a very plain fact of the human condition, that if you're in shape, kind of everything's easier than if you're not. Well, and
yeah, okay.
Anyway. But the second part, which is this kind of, when I feel like I'm losing it, then I get impatient and everybody's judging me. And it also sounds to me like the feel like I'm losing it, that happens within 24, 48 hours.
But okay. Okay. But but it's more than that. It's
yes.
Two thoughts that came up. What could two things that came to me was, I don't even know how to say it. It's so okay. So when I was 7 and was that zombie, it was super terrifying because I had no anchor at all. There was no support. At least I felt there was no support, nothing supporting me. Before I went into anorexia, I think I must have felt I had no control. I had no control over anything. It was chaos. It was chaos inside me. There was chaos around me. And then I grabbed onto the thinness. I mean, there's one birth. There was many, but I grabbed onto it.
Yes.
And it became kind of a pacifier, A pacifier doesn't do anything, really. I mean, it's kind of placebo. I don't know what it is. It's, you take what you have, right? But it kind of, in a way, lulled me into kind of I don't think it really, maybe not a false sense of safety, but at least I had something to hold on to that was mine.
Right. Okay.
And I think fitness, being fit, I don't like gyms, by the way, but it has to be outside because then I feel free. It has to be outside because then there's space around me. I can do yoga on a mat, that's fine. But otherwise, it's when it has to feel good. It has to feel that there's space around me, that there are, there's nothing kind of hemming me in or putting, barbed wire around me and preventing me from going where I want to go. That's when it feels good. That's when it's empowering. If I run on a treadmill, maybe it's a little bit, but the effect is like much, much smaller. So fitness or feeling fit is also something make chaos and safety and uncertainty and whatever else bearable in a way. Yes. I mean, it's something to hold on to, especially. So when I was in, and there physically was barriers, I couldn't go anywhere, right? Nobody could go anywhere. So I probably felt this, I feel really unsafe, and I boxed in, and there's no outlet. Where is my anchor?
Nothing to hold on to.
Nothing to hold on to.
And that's a part that you'd like to change your relationship with?
Yeah, I wanted to be. I would like to get out of that. Or I would like to understand more why it so easily becomes so tight that it becomes an emergency, that I don't trust more, that, I have a broader anchor, there is other, that I can.
You have a foundation of health and.
Exactly. And that I can't trust that there is more to kind of hold me up, so that, when I am in a situation like I was in, I could say, this sucks. I'm really tense. Let me watch some silly YouTube movies, or I have a book with me. Let's just read that, or let me listen to some music, and I try to forget about the world. Right?
Right. Okay. How do you notice that part when it comes up? What is the sensation in the body?
I think I really tense. And I tense. So I tense, and some parts of me become kind of some nerves become hyper alert. Other nerves kind of numb. So, for example, that I can't really feel now because I'm sitting down, but I can see how kind of I become really clumsy when I walk. I can kind of, it's like I can trip. I can easily trip because there are some nerves that I lose kind of contact with the ground a little. So if there are any obstacles on the ground, like I don't know what you call that, a doorstep, or, uneven steps in a staircase, or something like that. There's some nerve endings that are numb, so they don't feel those subtleties. And then I can stub my toe, or I don't, I kind of stumble over that door. So it's both tensing. Something is hyper vigilant, and something is kind of numb, so that I move clumsily in the world, and I lose kind of smoothness and flexibility in walking in the world.
Yeah.
Because so I live in New York City, right? So if I feel strong, feel energized, I walk really fast down the street, and I walk zigzag between people because I have a place to go to, right? New Yorkers do that.
Yes.
And then you need flexibility and agility to do that, because...
Of course.
But in that situation, when I am the kind of tense, I would bump into anybody. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Okay. Does the tense and does the hypervigilant and the clumsy, do they feel like two different parts?
Yeah.
The tense and the numbing feel different?
Yeah, they feel different. The tensing is, you know, there. Oh yeah, there are.
Yeah. One
is fight. One is fight, and the other is not. Is kind of it's a tranquilizer.
Mm-hmm. Will you let them both know that they're welcome in this conversation and in this exploration?
Yeah. That.
Okay. How do you feel towards them?
Okay, so the first thing that came up was just, wow, I have two defense mechanisms going at the same time. I didn't realize that.
It's interesting. It's also, I imagine it's more common than not to have polarized kind of protectors.
Yeah. But I haven't seen, it could be that I've had it many, many times, but I haven't seen it this clearly before, that one part is like ready to punch, right? And the other part is like, just going into its shell, and I don't want to see the world,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you feel towards them as you see them both ready?
I'm just sitting there between them. And what I'm sensing is that one of them is kind of giving me energy, whatever that, and one of them is sapping me from energy. And of course, you know who is doing what.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like
one's exciting the system and one's tranquilizing
it. I feel like, okay, I think my immediate feeling is that I really don't like any of them very much.
Okay.
Because each of them is too strong, but in the opposite direction.
Right. Okay. So see if you can notice the part that really doesn't like them.
That part is saying,
they're just too strong.
This part is just saying, give me some. It's like, let me be. Give me some space. Let me breathe.
Yeah. Okay. So let that part know that you see it and that you understand it.
Yeah.
That it's also welcome. And that if it will give you space, you can get to know these other parts and you can work with them from self.
Okay.
How does it respond to that?
This part in the middle is saying that I can't let either of them take me over.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I'm saying, I'm just going to, and it's also saying, don't get too close to any of them. Because one is fire, and the other is, I don't know what it is, a swamp, something, you just sink into. So it's saying, don't go too close to any of them, because you either be burned or you just sink down and you'll never get back up again.
Yeah, that part's worried about you getting burned or getting sunk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, just invite it to really notice you in your current age. Let it know that you can go to parts without being overwhelmed by them.
Yeah, trying to tell it that I just want to learn to know them. It doesn't mean I'm going to go with them. You know? I just want to know what they are all about.
Yes. Yeah, how's it respond to that?
It's saying, it's giving kind of a qualified okay, but it still says don't go too close. Don't get too close. So it kind of wants me to stand on some kind of balcony and look at each other.
You could maybe let it know that you will go with caution, and if it needs to come back in to warn you, it can.
It can.
We could also ask these other parts not to overwhelm you.
I can ask them, if I get closer and we get into a conversation, you're not going to eat me, right?
Yeah. You want to ask them that?
I think they're shaking their head. At least the fire is shaking its head. The swamp is shaking its head too. No, they're not going to eat me.
Okay, so they're all right with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't want to eat me, I think.
No, I don't think they do.
That's just, they haven't told me yet, but they're saying they're not going to do it.
Okay, so the part that doesn't like them is able to step back now?
Yeah. But now it can come back. It's standing kind of behind a half-closed door and peeking out.
Okay. You're all right with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Which of these two parts, the fire or the swamp, would you like to talk with first? Or who needs your attention more?
It's almost like kind of, I saw blank for a moment. I drew blank, that's what the expression is.
Yep, ask any blanking parts to step back.
I think it's the fire.
Okay, how do you feel towards the fire?
Yeah, this fire is more urgent. It's more intense. It seems like the swamp has more time on its hand. It can wait a little.
Okay. You thank the swamp
it's kind
for
of
waiting.
A slower pace. Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel towards the fire?
I can see its strength. It's almost like it's blinding me. But I'm not afraid of it, I think.
Let it know that you're not afraid of it and that you'd like to get to know it And if it would turn down some of that intensity.
Okay, it turned out I can see you.
You can see it better. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's like,
see how it responds to that.
Hmm. I think it's saying that it didn't realize actually what an effect it had. That it didn't realize that, that they. No, it did. Whether maybe it did realize it. Anyway, whether it realized it or not, now it's willing to turn down the intensity. It's turning off the floodlights. It's turning off the floodlights.
So it's aware of you there?
Yeah. It's kind of. It's
what
tall.
Okay. What does it want you to know about itself?
It's hard to get into this. It's almost like there's a wall between me and it. So I'm blanking out partly when I'm trying to get closer to it.
Yeah. It's interesting. The audio quality is getting a little worse. Did you also kind of move the microphone away from you at all?
I haven't moved anything.
Okay. Well, now it's good again. So,
okay.
So there's a blanking coming up.
It's like.
Let's just notice the blanking. Welcome the blanking. And see what it wants you to know.
All I can hear it's saying is that it's saying, I am so scared.
Yeah. And who's saying that? Is the fire saying it's scared, or the blanking part?
No, it seems like it's the fire.
Okay. How do you feel towards the fire when you see it saying that it's scared?
Well, I feel for it.
Yeah.
But why is it so scared? Why are you so scared? And then the blanking comes again.
Okay. So the fire has something that scares it.
Mm-hmm.
And if we know anything about protectors and exiles, usually that's perhaps an exile, and often that's something really scary to even look at sometimes. It can be sad or chaotic, painful memories. And it doesn't have to show you in any way that it doesn't want to. We don't have to go anywhere that you don't want to. Just want to let the fire know that you see how scared it is and that you're curious about it.
So this picture came up again. This picture that I told you about in the beginning and was saying, let's do a timeline. And then it was a timeline. The picture was me being around 5, having a checkered dress on and tightening that belt.
Okay.
Tightening it. And hearing a grown-up voice saying, why does he always have to have those belts so tight?
How do you feel as you notice those memories coming up? Are you okay with them being shown to you that way?
Yeah.
Okay. Let the blanking part know that you're okay.
Yeah, I am okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that 5-year-old did that. What the story I've told was that she was, holding fierce bay,
yeah.
right? And
so the stories that you tell,
that's a story.
The way to know is to go to parts and get it directly from them.
Yeah, because now when I just see that girl with that really tight belt.
Yeah. So let
I don't know what doing it.
Any part that wants to tell the story, ask it for space.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
The only way to learn what the fire is afraid of is to ask it, and the only way to understand about that 5-year-old is to ask it, or ask the parts that are working directly with it. Or I should say the best way to, the most thorough way to get the real story.
Oh, I think I'm getting to something. Getting almost inside her a little.
Does it feel like it's too much?
No, it's. I mean, it's.
Are you talking about the 5-year-old?
It makes my eyes teary, but it's not too much for me.
Is it okay with the fire part?
At my current age, like you say.
Is it okay with the fire part that you're going to learn more about the 5-year-old? Does it trust you to do that?
Yes, I think it wants me to do it. That's right.
That's coming from it.
I think
it says it's
saying. Yes, it's almost like it's almost like it's a little relieved.
Yeah. That's what we're going for.
That I'm going there.
Yeah.
Because it has been protecting that, whatever that is, for so long.
Right. Yeah, just let it know it's not alone and that you're here to help go to parts so that it doesn't have to work so hard. It can relax.
Yeah, it's almost like, yes, it's almost like it's saying, you take over. Or, yeah.
Okay. So you ready to do that now?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you notice about that 5-year-old?
She is holding herself together for bare life.
That's what she has to hold on to, is herself, her body.
It's her belt, and that belt.
She's got to hold herself together.
Because there is so much chaos, both inside her and outside her.
So and
there's so much ugliness. There's so much ugliness.
How do you feel towards her, seeing her having to hold herself together in that chaotic world?
I just want to hug her and hold her. And I wish I could. I want to loosen that belt so she can cry.
Okay, well, we're gonna let her, because she's.
Yes, but you asked me what I thought.
That's okay. That's fine. Yeah, and I'm glad to hear it.
I'm not going to do it.
And I'm letting the part of you that wants to pull that belt or undo it, just to let it know that these parts are going to go at their pace.
Yeah.
And that there's a very good reason for parts to do what they do. And we need to understand that. So you said, when I asked how you felt towards the part, you said you wanted to hug it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there more? I'll just ask again, how do you feel towards the part?
Towards that girl?
Mm-hmm.
Compassionate.
Okay. You just show her that and invite her to notice you.
Yeah.
Let her know that she's not
I'm
alone.
with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Does she see that?
I think so. I'm not sure though. She's very much into herself and her belt.
Yeah.
Just holding herself together.
Will you ask her to tell you more about what it's like for her having to hold herself together like that?
Mm. It's exhausting and it's terrifying and it's lonely. Because there isn't anybody to hold on to under the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And there is something preventing her from having just exploding in some kind of tantrum. I don't know if she's afraid what the external world will do, or she's afraid that if she does that, she will let all the chaos out and she will just fall into pieces.
Yeah, you can just ask her to show you more about that and what it's like for her. Let her know you really want to understand what it's been like for her. And I'll remind you that I don't need all the details and that it may not be necessary to connect the dots of the story around it, but just to really understand her emotionally. Yeah, just stay with her.
I think there's a lot she doesn't. Okay, so I understand something that she didn't understand. Okay, right? Of course, because she's in the middle of it.
Yeah. So I mean,
I'm not going to make a story.
I'm a little hesitant about. Yeah, it's just there's understanding. There's understanding, and then there's being with a part. And
I'm with her because
sharing. Okay.
All I want is okay. I mean, she's 5, right? And that's why I'm compassionate. She's 5. She's starting to see things that you don't see when you're younger, even if there's ugliness around you. And she's not feeling safe. Or she's telling me she's not feeling safe. And I can see that she's realizing. I'll stop.
Yeah, just show her how you feel towards her.
I would so like to make her feel safe. Just make her feel safe. And that she's supported.
Mm-hmm. So you could let her know that you'd like to support her.
Yes.
And that you can be there for her. And just see how she reacts. We're not asking her to do anything, but just to notice you. And see how she reacts.
So, okay. So what I'm saying to her is, I just want to support you and make you feel safe. And I'm also realizing that I want to say, I'm not going to loosen that belt or make you take off that belt.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I want to support you whether you have that belt on or not.
Yeah. Yeah. How's she respond to that?
I think that's a new realization for her. I think she didn't see me before I said that. Yeah, you can be. Just want to support you in a way that you want me to support.
Yeah. How's she feel about that? She trusts you to do that?
I don't know if she trusts me yet.
Okay.
But at least she is listening and she's looking at me.
Great. Great. Let her know that you would like to do more listening, that you're open to that, and that she can tell you anything that she wants. That you've gotten that part that wants to just fix it and help with the belt. You've gotten that part to step back.
Yeah.
And that she can tell you anything she wants about herself, her experience, her fears. She can show you any way that she wants.
She's just saying over and over again, I'm not safe.
Yeah.
There's no safe place. My world is falling apart.
And does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Let her know that you see how hard that is for her.
And there is so much she doesn't understand that's going on in the so-called grown-up world. But whatever is going on is scary. It's scary. It's so scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
How are you being with her? Is there proximity? Do you feel like you're close to her? Would it feel okay to get closer if you can?
Up till now, she has been standing on her bed.
Mm-hmm.
That's where she stood when I first saw her. And I have kind of been sitting on my heels in a way, or bending down. So she's almost taller than me because she's above me in a way.
Yeah, ask how she would feel about being closer with you while you listen.
Yeah. I think she wants me to stand up, so I'm bigger than her. She wants me to be bigger than her.
Yeah, go for it. Show her how big you are, how much space you can create and take up in her world.
She's wondering. She's wondering if my bigness is safe. But I think it seems like she feels drawn towards it, but she's not sure if it's safe.
Okay. You could ask her what she needs in order to trust you. If there's something you can do for her or show her. Or maybe just being with her in that space.
She wants me to just take her hand. And then she's still very uptight. She's kind of...
She's been afraid.
She's a wire. Yeah, she's wired. Or she's not wired, but she is a wire.
Just let her know you see that. You see what she's carrying, the burdens that she's carrying, and how that affects her. You could offer.
She wants to feel that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can offer. She wants to feel that it's safe to be a little girl with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That it's safe to let her guards down. That I won't suddenly just pounce on her or withdraw or laugh at her.
Yeah.
Reprimand her,
laugh at her. Earlier you noticed there was like a voice saying, why are you making your belt so tight?
Yeah.
All these other voices, all these other people or parts that have pushed her around or made it hard for her. Just let her know that you've seen that.
Yeah. So I want to say, I'll play with you if you want. I don't have to do anything serious. You can just play if you want.
You could offer her to play. You could offer to go somewhere. Would she like to change the scene?
Yeah. Yeah, she wants to get out of that room. With those staring grown-ups. That's with those voices.
Is there anything she'd like to change about that space, about that room before you take her out of there?
What she want to change about the room?
For example, if there are staring grown-ups, is there a message that she wants you to send to them or to help her send to them? Or anything else that she wants to kind of set right back there? Or would she just like to get out of there?
No, let's see.
Just ask her.
It's so weird. She would like me to tell them to leave.
She would like you to what?
To tell them to leave.
Okay.
But she has a toy closet.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to take all of her toys with her.
Do you want to tell them to leave?
I want to tell the grown-ups to leave. Yeah, I want you to leave. I want you to leave the room.
Yeah.
You can go into the living room, or you could just leave us alone.
Mm-hmm. And let her see if she wants to watch you doing that and the way that you do that.
I want to tell them that I don't belong here. It's time to go.
Yep. It's time for them to go.
Time to go. We don't have any power anymore. Time for you to go. Time's up. Oh, I think she took a deep breath. I did, but I think she did too.
Yeah. She like how that went? How you're able to do that?
Yeah, she feels free anymore.
Is there anything else that she wants you to do for her? Back in that time or in that place?
She wants to leave, but she wants to take all her toys with her.
Do you have space for her toys in your new place? Wherever you're going to go?
Oh, yeah. I think we do.
Yeah.
I think we do. It's not like she had oodles and oodles. She had a little toy closet that she really liked.
Okay. Do you want to help her get those toys and make sure that they're all secure?
Mm-hmm. The marbles and the fox and
Yeah.
the cowboy hat.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's hers. That's hers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those are really important to her.
Yeah, because that's hers.
Yeah. Yeah, you're helping her keep what she wants and get away from those things that don't need to be in her life anymore.
And she's saying, "Where are we going?" Saying, "So where does she want to go? Where do you want to go?"
Yeah, where does she want to go? Anywhere, anytime. She could join you in the present. A fantasy place, a place with more toys.
No, I don't think she really needed more toys. It was just that she wanted hers. They wanted a kind of kept her company. I think she wants just to go with me to my present.
some parts like to find a kind of a place in your body where you might be able to touch into.
Mm.
Whatever she likes.
Oh, she just wants to sleep in my bed.
Okay. Before she drifts off, I've got one more question I could offer if you have the time. You could check it out with her. You could ask her where she's been carrying those burdens and those beliefs that she's not safe, where she's carrying them in her body, that she has to hold everything together, the feelings of being terrified, exhausted.
The diaphragm, or a little bit below.
And how would she like to get rid of those? How would she like to let go of those feelings?
So what comes up? I didn't expect this to come. So what comes up is that she wants to melt them. She wants to melt them so they become liquid. And then they become gas.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just... Yeah, she wants to melt them.
Okay.
Make them soft. It's like, wax. You the candle and the wax. And I mean, my physics aren't the best. I don't know.
It's all right.
Wax can become liquid. I have no idea.
That's
Probably
okay.
Can.
Inner physics.
Inner physics, exactly.
Yeah. So just help her out with that. Tell her to do that until it's all out, until they're all melted and gassed away.
But then something else is happening. It's melting, but it's melting like lava. It's not becoming gas.
Mm-hmm.
I see it kind of running down and into the earth. I don't know.
Is she all right with that? Or does she want it to
be gassy? No, I think...
Does it need to be further obliterated? Does it feel like it's all out of her?
It's kind of... Seems like some is running down like lava, and some is kind of becoming gases. But it's... No, I don't think everything is out. It's almost like the process halted. It was kind of active and warm in there for a while. It was melting.
Is there more to do? More feelings, more burdens, other places in her body, fears?
I think the whole front of my torso. My shoulders. At the center is there, right below the diaphragm, I think.
Belief of having nobody to hold on to.
Yeah. I don't think everything is out, but it seems like most of it is melting.
Okay.
So it's
How about
softer.
that belt?
What's that belt? I forgot about that belt. Where is the belt?
What does she want to do with it?
She wants to burn it.
Okay.
She wants to. Yeah, she wants to burn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she doesn't need that anymore.
No, she doesn't need that. She doesn't need that fear. That's scariness. She doesn't flop down in my bed. I think she's taking the whole bed. Holding a space for me. We'll just make the bed bigger. You know, that's what we do.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to tell you, when she said she wanted her toys,
Yeah.
I'm not sure it was her. Or if it almost seemed it was that 6-year-old who had already been taken away without any toys.
Maybe left them behind.
And my mother abducted. Yeah, they were all left behind. We left with what we were wearing. We became, snails without a house.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only, so I don't know if it was that 5-year-old or if it was that 6-year-old that crept in and said, "Take toys with you." I don't want them. Give me both.
They're safe now.
They're safe now.
Okay. Well, keep checking in with her. I don't know if that means put her on your calendar or however you want to continue that connection. The parts that we met along the way, like the fire, the parts that were concerned about having to hold on to the fitness, you could just check in with them, invite them to see what's transpired here.
Well, the fire. I believe was protecting that little girl from feeling all that chaos and that fear.
Yeah, I bet the swamp had a similar role.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so you can just let them know that you have her now, and they can find other ways to use their energy.
And the belt is kind of that fitness anchor.
Mm. Yeah.
It keeps me from feeling so vulnerable when there is unsafety around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like that belt. Keeps me strong. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do back there? Any other parts have any questions or concerns?
It's not for today. It's not for today, but I am curious if the exile behind the swamp is the same. Is that 5-year-old, or if there is something else or more that is also. But it's not for today. I'm just curious.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you could check with it if it recognizes this 5-year-old and how it feels. And we could also bookmark that too, but could be a quick check, possibly.
Yeah, I think we could do both, but with the quick check. Yeah, I mean, the belt, I mean, the belt is holding a bay, both. I mean, holding, it's a way of numbing yourself too, right? So it's a way of, it's not only a way to, it's both a way to feel in control, but at the same time, a way to get away from herself and numb herself and just I'm sinking into the swamp. Maybe preventing her from sinking into a swamp. I mean, they're both there. Or the swamp. I mean, the swamp could be related to the 5-year-old. The swamp could also be related to the zombie or something else, or both.
I imagine the belt could be related to a zombie or an anorexic feeling also.
Yeah. Okay. Did you hear me the whole time? Because I heard you.
There were a couple of dropouts, but seems like we got through it.
We got through it. Okay.
Good job.
Thank you, James. I would love another one if you can take the connection, because I'll be here for another month almost, at least 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks.
Okay, I'll send you another link. Have a good rest of your day.
You. Well, it's 9:30 at night.
All right. Well, maybe you get some good sleep tonight.
That's what I would love to. Okay, you have a good day, and I have a good night.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
Soon.
Bye.
Right, bye. Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube, and they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.